What's good in the his nud? Man, something I didn't realize before. See, you know what? I was raised to think that patriotism and nationalism are the same thing. And that's what we've all been tricked into having this form of nationalism. If you're unfamiliar with what nationalism, it's very much expounded upon in this book called Bushido or Budo, and it's from the Japanese. You know, it has, like I said, it has a lot of good points in it, but you can see where this Naziist kamikaze mindset was a mutation from nationalism. Just like right now, in all actuality, is they're turning nationalism now has been criminalized, even though they're going to use it as a way to make people fight for depopulation. It's like, okay, you want to still cling to nationalism, which we started. Go ahead, you can have it. And then once we kill each other, then they're going to come in with something called globalism, where nationalism has evolved into your globalism. Multinationalism. Same thing, multinationals. See? Nationalism, multinationalism, globalism. Look. Oh, there it is. Antithesis, nationalism. Antithesis, globalism. Synthesis, multinationalism. Bam, there it is, dude. But anyway, I was taught patriotism and nationalism are the same thing, but they are not. Nationalism truly is what inspired the Nazis. It inspired the Russians. It inspired the Chinese to go red communist. It's what inspired the Crusaders to go over to the Middle East and kill people they didn't know in the name of God. Which God did they serve, really? You know, it wasn't God, it was popes. It was popery they served. It wasn't really real Christianity. All those people in those times just supported poperism, not Christianity. Because listen, Christianity, you can read the New Testament, and not one place does it say we're supposed to build a big ass army and go wipe out all infidels. Nowhere does it say that. It doesn't even say we're supposed to kill people. I mean, we're definitely not supposed to murder people for sure. And even killing is like, you know, it's not necessary. It's not endorsed anywhere in the Bible. Yeah, I mean, not in the New Testament anyway. The Old Testament were different times. You know what I'm saying? This is before. It was like, it was reiterated in the New Testament that we were really supposed to walk after something other than this phony nationalism, which even people that support Israel, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not talking about the biblical Israel in the Bible. That when it talks about Israel, it's not talking about Israel the state, this nationalism that you've been taught. See, because you're so nationalist and you don't even know it. It's not a big step to go nationalist to national socialist. It's not a big step. This is what happened with the National Socialist Workers' Party. This is the same thing that happened there. I mean, it was like in the old ancient Chinese doctrines, it was like they were kind of like they had a form of nationalism, but then again they frowned upon total nationalism. They knew it would lead to bad things and everyone would be unhappy. Art of War, what does it say? Very last part of Art of War, he says, look, the war is the last thing you would ever want to do. Everyone suffers. Sun Tzu knew this. I mean, before he even ever embarked onto war, he knew all this was happening because he's seen it time and time again, just like we keep watching it over and over again and don't learn from the fucking past. You know, when they did Patriot Storm, I remember, wait, what was it called? Desert Shield, Desert Storm? They were singing all night. Oh, at least I know I'm American. Where at least I know I'm free. Look, they had that playing all night in this National Socialist song, trying to get us to, oh, they threw babies out the incubator. Oh, we gotta go invade these countries. And then heroin comes in the next 5 to 7 years after this. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, and then people, big bullshit. Big bunch of nationalist bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Even though, listen, I'm not a de-sovereigntist as neither. I'd rather keep the sovereignty, drop the phony patriotism, which is replaced with nationalism, which is really just fascist Nazism. Repackaged. It's just like, listen, you're so detached from your history, from the past, you don't even know what is what. I mean, listen, I didn't know what was what a few years ago, dude. I've only just, and I knew a lot of stuff, dude. And what's crazy is, big, black, dark area I did not never see until I got lucky enough to come across people entertaining my mind to things I was unaware of. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait a second, man, they had the wool pulled over me. For the, you know, at first you kind of, you look stupid, you look crazy, you're angry, you're hostile because look, you've been lied to, so you're looking for, you know what I'm saying, some dragons to slay. So, but you get past that and it's like, all right, listen, now you can sympathize even with the ignorant, with the people who participate in this, because it's like, listen, they tricked my forefathers just like they're tricking you. They even had me tricked because I didn't realize at the time. I mean, even though when it comes to nationalism, you got, on this side of the spectrum, you got total nationalism. You got the middle spectrum, well, it's like, yeah, it's nationalism, but it's not evil Naziist nationalism. Then you got the infancy of nationalism, which is just kind of like people think they're doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this team spirit. They taught us this in school, and it was just nationalism. It's like, listen, we're going to vote for the home team. No, regardless if we're right or wrong, we don't care, win or lose. We're voting for we're rooting for the home team. Keep rooting, keep rooting. At least I know I'm American. Or at least I know I'm free. I mean, you know, we ain't free. We weren't even free then. We were freer, but we weren't totally free. I mean, it's just, we've been tricked into thinking bondage is truly freedom. And I mean, it is sick like that. I mean, it's hard to explain. There's many levels to the Lucy chessboard. You know what I'm saying? So even though you might elevate it off the first one and you're up here somewhere, or even up here, there's still there's other levels, man. I mean, I guess we're only human. We can't occupy all these things at the same time. That's why, I think we're supposed to look at each other more as family, less as bitter rivals. You know what I'm saying? Bitter rivals comes from nationalism. You know what I'm saying? It's like the dude who initially, the founder of Aikido, actually went to China and learned from the Chinese, the same people who basically taught, you know, these Chinese internal martial arts. It's just a derivative of those. It's like you got your Japanese judo. You take that and you add in some circular Bagua Tai Chi force utilization, and you got Aikido. And he even said, I read a book about this dude, and he said, somebody in confidence, he said, yeah, I did learn this from the Chinese, but listen, he's like, I'm a Japanese citizen. I have to root for the home team. He was a nationalist. No, he wasn't even a nationalist. If you study Aikido, he's actually a multi-nationalist. You know what I'm saying? Which is even worse. This is the evolution of nationalism into universal globalism, one world government, new world order. As much as I like martial arts, I still have to be honest, intellectually honest with you, and spiritually honest. Because listen, it is a commandment, thou shalt not lie. You know what I'm saying? So I'm privy to these things. And if I was to tell you, oh, yes, this, that, don't worry about that. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. I would not be a brethren. I'd be a deceiver and a devil. I mean, at least from my own perspective. That doesn't sit well with me. But, you know, and I'm glad that there's these references of the past. We can look at in these books. It's documented. It's historical. I mean, all people got to do is it's kind of like there's a Indian burial ground out in the backyard. If we want to study history, just kick some dirt and the skeletons will pop up out the ground. We can get a picture. Just like they look at a crime scene, they can almost tell you what happened just by looking at the evidence laying around. Same thing with this nationalism. And, I mean, nationalism leads to these things. It leads to, well, to get rid of nationalism, bring you to globalism, multinationalism, they got to introduce you to Marxism. Marxism isn't an end-all, be-all. It's just a medium. It's like a medium vehicle to get you from here to here. You know what I'm saying? In here, we're crunch you in between into this Marxist paradigm. And then, you know, but the Marxist paradigm only leads you to total annihilation. And at least with nationalism, it can be, listen, if you're, say you believe in your nation, but your nation believes in what's right, your nation can actually, nationalism can be kind of good, but nationalism in itself is kind of like this. Your emperor, your king is God, and you are his fingers, his vehicles, his pieces of his body. You are connected to your leader. And, you know, I mean, basically that's just being tethered to the world. And the world's flawed ways. They've been flawed since the beginning of time. And even unto now. And like I was saying, you know, there's the nation, the real nation of Israel is a spiritual people. It's people, they're hidden. And they've been taken and scattered. So it's like, listen, you can't put your finger on who Israel is. Because it's cleverly hidden. Because God knows Satan, the devil, when he falls down from heaven, Revelations 12:13, I think, he's going to go looking to destroy Israel. You know what I'm saying? So God had to so cleverly hide it, even from ourselves, because sometimes we unknowingly give the devil assistance. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, so, I mean, God even has to conceal things from us for our own sakes. You know what I'm saying? Because we couldn't handle the knowledge. The devil's so adept at, what's the word I'm looking for? Interrogation. Subtle interrogation tactics. You know what I'm saying? Somehow they'll get it out of you if you knew. So I mean, it's cleverly hidden, and that's listen, that's denationalism, and it's not necessarily even, it's not even a form of globalism. You know what I'm saying? It's totally opposite. It's like people are free. You know what I'm saying? They're free. You know what I'm saying? To even rebel if they wish. But it's like, listen, you can't have people who want to serve God living amongst the rebellious. You know what I'm saying? That's what God was saying. It's like you got to separate. You know what I'm saying? If people will not, if they want to keep cleaving to rebelliousness, well then you got to let them go. You know, and listen, their rebelliousness will bring about their own destruction. We don't have to kick them off a cliff or anything, or burn them at the stake, or put stones in their pocket and see if they can swim. We don't have to do things of this nature. No. You know the end result. Okay. Oh, you think Hitler nationalism's good? Okay, now I'm gonna go. It's just, familiarize yourself with these things, because political talk is all double speech and lies and propaganda, nationalist propaganda. But see, now they're introducing you to this Marxist propaganda that makes you want to rebel against your nationalism, your national socialist fascism, corporatism, over to global corporate fascist Nazism. And then after they get you, whatever, their political movement can infight between the communists and the socialists. And at the end, one of them's going to win. But either way, everyone's fucking got a microchip. You talk against the government, you get vaporized. Everything you make, you're going to have to give to the state. Then they'll ration back out to you 0.1% of everything you yourself did. You know, they'll starve you and your family, basically. If you're not loyal to the global, international, multinationalist, globalist, corporatist, satanic, antichrist, beast system. So, I don't know, man. This has got a lot of layers to it. A lot of layers to this onion. This snake has got its coils around all kinds of different geopolitical regions. You know what I'm saying? So, it's not, they've hit it cleverly. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying, it's a cluster bomb, but I mean, really, it's just Hydra. Hydra's got all these different tentacles, and it keeps you whack-a-mole at the tentacles, and you know, it kind of hypnotizes you. Then after you get used to its pattern, it throws a monkey wrench at you, the hidden tentacles, and you know, it'll wreck your whole paradigm. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. It's like juggling a whole bunch of things, and then you know, when you drop one, all of a sudden they all start to drop. So. Work time.